Hey everybody, how you doing? Danny Harris here, Explosive Golf Marketing, and a really interesting video for you today that if you get this into your head, it's going to make your golf club vastly more efficient in the way it operates across all levels, not just in a marketing perspective. And I don't know if some of you would have missed, but sadly last week marked the passing of one of the world's biggest selling ever authors. And this would have largely gone unnoticed because most people didn't really understand that this guy was one of the world's biggest selling authors. And here's why. The chap is called John Haynes, and John Haynes has sold in excess of 200 million books, which puts him up in the same sort of category as people like J.R. Tolkien, who did the Lord of the Rings, and getting close to the Harry Potter lady, what's her name? You know the one I'm talking about. But yeah, he sold a couple of 100 million books, which is no small feat by anyone's standards. Now, John Haynes, the reason you probably don't know him is because he didn't really sell fiction books. What John sold were car manuals, and most people, maybe a few of the younger people wouldn't have known this, but cars have changed a little bit now. It's all computerized and so on. But going back to the sort of the 80s and the 90s, certainly, what would happen is if you had a problem with your car and you wanted to fix it yourself, just about everyone owned a Haynes manual. And a Haynes manual was a basic how to do anything you needed to do in your car. So if you needed to fix the clutch, it would show you step by step how to fix the clutch. If you needed to change the exhaust, it would tell you step by step how to change the exhaust. And believe me, this is very, very relevant to your golf club. Now you see, John Haynes started because he had a car called an Austin 7. Back, I think it was in about the 40s or the 50s, and he wanted the Austin 7S, which was the sportier version, but couldn't kind of afford to do it. So he worked out how to do it. He sold this little booklet about how to change your car from an Austin 7 to a 7S, and he managed to sell this booklet. And if you think about it, and then this kind of grew and grew and grew, and I don't think there's a car available that didn't have a Haynes manual written for it. I don't know if it's the same now, but certainly a few years ago it was. And if you think about what you've bought when you've bought a Haynes manual, you've obviously bought the knowledge to do the task that you want to do, be it, fix the exhaust or fix the clutch or whatever it happens to be. But more importantly, what you've actually bought is John Haynes's time. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate that he didn't write all of these books himself, once it became a massive company and so on. But you've bought his time. So we're going back to that original time when he converted this Austin 7 into a 7S. What he's done is he's spent the time making the mistakes, finding out what works, finding out what doesn't work, finding best practices and so on. And he's selling you his time and knowledge. Now, if you think in your golf club, I would imagine most of you use an accountant at the end of the year to do your golf club's accounts. And what that means is, and you could do your own accounts if you had the time to go to accountant college or university or whatever you call it, and the inclination to do it and the time to actually do it. But you don't go through all that process because you swap your hard-earned golf club's money in exchange for the accountant service, because a few reasons. One, he's done the thing already. You're going to get it done quicker and more efficiently, and it's going to be better if somebody else does it for you. If you think about your greenkeeping equipment even, you could build a lawnmower or a greenkeeping lawnmower, fairway mower, whatever you want to call them. But you don't. You go to a company that have already made the mistakes, found out the best way to make a greenkeeping machine work and so on. And so you're buying their knowledge. You're not just buying the thing. And more than their knowledge, you're buying their time that it's taken them to do this. Now, many of the golf clubs that I talk to out there are bumbling along, trying to do all of these different things themselves, and it frees up no time for the golf club to actually do the things that are going to make the golf club better. And as golf club managers or members of committees or whatever your role happens to be, your job should be really planning on how to make the golf club better and get somebody else to implement this. So the accountant does something and the greenkeepers do something and so on. And you have to kind of buy time off of people because you can't do everything yourself, despite what many, many golf clubs try and do all of these things themselves. Now, in the case of your marketing, you can spend all of your time trying to learn Facebook advertising, trying to learn Google advertising, trying to understand the psychology of selling, the psychology of getting members, creating new packages, or all of the other things that come into a marketing strategy, or if you wanted to save some time and just get it done really, really quickly and much more efficiently and get a better bang for your buck as a result, you'd probably be better off to employ somebody to do it for you. Now, that's what I do. And genuinely, some of you are looking at this video and thinking, this is just a sales pitch. And some of you are thinking, actually, that's quite a good idea. It would be a lot easier if we just got this bloke to do it for us. It will happen really quickly. It will happen really easy. And I'm more than happy to have an hour's chat with anybody who's interested. And I'll just give you a totally free strategy call. I'll tell you exactly how you can get members into your golf club. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do, how you're going to do it, how you get the inquiries and handle them and so on. And then at the end of that chat, I will probably say to you words to the effect of, would you like some help with it? That is the sum total of my sales pitch ever to anyone. Some people say, yes, I'd love some help. Other people say, no, we're all right, we're going to do it ourselves. Either way, that's great by me. If that's something that you might be interested in, this hour-long strategy call, just send me a message on Facebook. I'm more than happy to speak to any of you. And I look forward to hearing from you very soon. And I hope to see you in another video very soon. Just send me a message and we'll have an hour strategy call. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye for now.